CJ Albrechtsen, hey bro.
What's up, CJ? Coming up right now. Give me a minute. We'll start right now real quick. What up, G's? It's your boy, Prophet74. Today, I'm actually printing out something, but not just anything. I'm trying to get this stupid Mario coin going. But before we do that, something just arrived in the mail, and we're gonna go ahead and start opening it up. And today's the first day. If you guys are familiar with the Raspberry Pi, Pi Zero, you know, A, B, and stuff like that, so and so. So today I got the new A Plus, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it before we go commence. But first, let's turn our attention to this thing. While this is printing still, we're gonna keep an eye on it, but we're gonna go ahead and open the box here that just arrived. Today's the first day. Just got here. I'm trying to print a coin, a Super Mario Brother coin, so forgive me for not printing out very good stuff right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it a little bit about this before we open it up. It's gonna take only a couple minutes. Big old knife I have here. Couple minutes, but I'm surprised that it got here.
CJ Albrechtsen, what's the range something like this would cost?
The printer or this or the Raspberry Pi. The printer's $5,000. This Ultimaker extended version. If you guys see that, it's the extended version. This is around $5,000 right here. But we're gonna talk about a little bit about this while that thing's printing. Sorry about the noise, guys, but let me move this here. Get you guys going
Lone
on
Star,
here.
hello, what's up?
What's up, G? What's going on? We're gonna open up something that just arrived today. I'm actually gonna make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. And I'll talk about it a little bit more while it's printing. And let's see if I can get this going here. There we go. So I got the new Raspberry Pi.
CJ Albrechtsen, what program do you use?
For this one, I use Cura. For the Raspberry Pi, RetroPie.
CJ Albrechtsen, for 3D printing.
Oh, Cura. I use Cura. And I use Slicer. I use the Autodesk. I use different ones, different programs, but mostly Cura. So today I got it in the mail. It got here today. Great company. I always buy stuff from them. You know. We're gonna talk a little bit about this. The Raspberry Pi Model A. That's what it's called, Model A. If you guys see it, we're gonna see how small it is. It looks damaged, the box. You know, as you can see. So hopefully the content in there is not damaged, alright? So let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, so I'm going to open it up
CJ
here.
Albrechtsen, you ever used Inventor?
You know what? I don't use it. It's an Autodesk thing. I use it like I used to, but not no more. I use different programs now. The thing is, it's mostly I use like Slicer to begin. I use a lot of for modeling and stuff like that. And also for building making. So I'm going to show you a couple of these. Do you want to know a little bit about this model? It's brand new. So let me talk about, I'll put a little hole on this then. So this one is pretty neat. if you guys want to know a little bit about the 3D printing itself, let me bring it up here. It's an Ultimaker Extended 3. It levels itself. You don't need to do any programming or anything. It has two different filaments on the top of it. One of them, if you guys see this side and this side, one of them, it could be used as a stabilizer, and then you put in water and it dissolves it completely. It dissolves the whole thing in water, and it just leaves you...
Nice 3D printer. Now I know where to get my AR lowers printed now, haha.
Actually, this is not a bad one, man. If you're a first timer, it's very expensive. It's not something I will recommend, to be honest with you, to have, because it's just too pricey for my ass, to be honest with you. I don't own this machine. I'm just actually testing it out and messing around with it today. This is something we're gonna use in the future, but it has some great features. Like it says, it comes with 2 different filaments. You could use AB or ABS or PLA. You could use either one. It comes with its great filament that I'm gonna show you guys. Actually, I can't show you. It's behind it. Let me see if I can bring the camera right behind it. Let's go ahead and bring the camera right behind it so you guys can see the filament. So, see the filament, how it sits in the back? There's 2 levels. On this one right here, this one dissolves in water, and this is the regular PLA and ABS.
CJ Albrechtson, what would you recommend for a newbie?
For a newbie, honestly, for a brand new beginning, I recommended the IPP. Sorry, there's a bike coming by. The IPP is it's a China made, but it's really good. I have one. That was my first one to ever got, and you'll get it for $150 to $100 now these days. $120 you can buy it. So I recommend you get the cheapest one first, and then when you're ready, you could move to something like that one over there. Let me see if I can see it. Right now I got a lot of junk on it right now. That one's the AC10 RCA10, I think.
CJ Albrechtson, can it print carbon fiber?
Not that one can over there. This one can too, because on this one here, let me show you something else that I forgot to mention. Hold on. On this one, you could change the heads. You could actually change the heads to different heads, different millimeters on the heads itself. So it's something unique. This one came with 2 of them, and it automatically feeds them in there. So all the filament could be extracted here, and it's very simple to install. You know, all you have to do is grab this clip, put it in there, replace it. Very simple, very easy to do this stuff. You know. So, and it's all automatically automatically identify what kind of filament settings do you have. Now this is a 0.04. It tells you right in front of it, A8. So mostly it'll be used for PLA. You know, instead of the other one, the thicker one, the
CJ
ABS.
Albrechtson, can the one you recommend use carbon fiber?
The one I recommended for carbon fiber. Hold on, let me show you. Let me see if I could get you a better shot of it. For the carbon fiber, I haven't messed with it because I haven't had time for it. So I'm not gonna recommend you anything for carbon fiber yet until I start printing on more stuff like that. That's my true advice, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna change your direction and find out that you buy something and it doesn't work for you and then you blame it on me. So I haven't messed with carbon fiber because the filaments are very expensive. I go for the cheapest stuff. Buy the cheapest, print a lot. Simple as that. That's what I do. Carbon fiber, if you want to do carbon fiber, I don't have any. I can't recommend you any right now because I haven't had any chance to do any. So, but there's a lot of options out there, of course. So today we're going to talk about the Raspberry Pi 3 A+. I just got in the mail today. I was very shocked that it got here today. We're going to compare the size. Look at this sucker. It is super small. Really tiny. I freaking love it. I just off the bat, I fell in love with it right away. This could fit on a Nintendo cartridge, of course, compared to the larger one. So let me bring the new one compared to the old one, and then we're going to also bring the baby one. Recommended. So let's put them all here, and I'm gonna put them on the static protecting because this is plastic I have here, and I want to make sure that I'm able to use it. So here's the small zero. the new version is this one, and the old version, the B. This is B, A plus, and W, the 0. So here we have them all three. Let me see if I could. I'm not even looking at you guys here. Sorry about that, guys. Put this knife here. Put this here. So this is the old one. I just put a different radiator on top of it. The old one still comes in handy. In fact, if you guys, I'm going to show you something real quick. You guys want to see what I built with this one of these? I built this thing here. The cabin. You see that little cabin?
Hi Pot, at J. Carmichael 1966 is now following.
Thank you, Carmen.
CJ Albrechtson, my phone is at 10, so if I go inactive it died.
Oh, no problem, no problem. So here we have the old version of it. It's the larger one, a larger format, all right? And it's using the same CPU as the other one, so you're not going to get anything different from the new one to the old one, all right? The only difference that they got rid of a lot of stuff is that, if you notice, they got rid of the USBs. They only have one USB instead of all these 4 of them.
J. Carmichael 1966, colloque.
Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to, and thank you for joining us, too. I'm doing the 3D printing and also talking about other things that we have involved. So we just got this new one, the A plus, the Raspberry Plus A plus. Really small little device compared to the old one. Now they did remove a couple of the USBs here, and the new stuff. Let me talk about it. All right, it has it's a 64-bit core. It has a Core A53 CPU. RAM wise, it's 512 RAMs. Of course, it's the back right here. DDR2, of course, not DDR3 or anything higher. Dual bandwidth, wireless, Lambda, and Bluetooth. It's all built in here already. Wireless right here. Now, on top of it, they have just one USB. Improve on the thermal. I don't know how they improve on thermal because basically it looks the same. If the CPU is pretty much the same cover, unless they put more of this filament cement in there. Now, the thing I like about this is going to fit in a lot of handheld devices. Battery wise, you'll be able to do it. Still 5 voltage on this one, 5V on this one. It's the same thing, same voltage on this one. Has a monitor for the camera cord in this location too. They still have the same connections. If you guys see it, these two are the same. This is an older one. It's not actually the new. The new one has this chip. I'm actually using it right now. So this is an older.
Godlike
one.
Player. So you don't only play BO4.
Mamma mia!
No, I play pretty much everything, man. I do I do 3D printing too. I love 3D stuff, you know. I'm actually printing a Mario coin right now. Just to let you guys know. This is a baby version. I'm actually printing a larger one right now. And doing the Ultimaker Ultima, the extended version. And we're just talking about a little bit of what we got in the mail today and see if you guys like this stuff. The Raspberry Pi, what I built with this sucker, this one exactly here.
Classic Gamer, what's new?
What's new, Classic Gamer? Let me show you. If you're into Raspberry Pi chips, this is something that is perfect for you guys. So like I'm comparing the old one, the new one compared to the old one. This is actually the new version. Now Raspberry Pi, this is the last one they're gonna make. They're not gonna make another one after this one. They're gonna make a different version of it. So if you're expecting something smaller, it might be the next version. It says it's gonna be something like this, like the actual Zero.
Godlike Player, what's a Raspberry Pi?
You don't know what's a Raspberry Pi? Oh man, this guy's been missing out. Do you guys like the old classic Nintendo, old classic arcades? Do you guys want to see something cool? I'm gonna show you something cool. So with the Raspberry Pi, I'm able to do this arcade that has, you see that arcade system right there? That arcade system that's sitting right there has over 1,000 games right there. It has a lot of arcade games. It has pretty much everything.
Godlike Player, yes.
So if you like classic games, you could make a classic gaming system with this Raspberry Pi. You put the RetroPie game, and then you crank it up and you play Street Fighter. You guys want to see my little thing? I'm going to go actually move the camera if you guys want to check it out. Let me walk over so you guys can see. I can give you a little demo of it. So, I'm actually going to walk, see. Move some boxes here. Now on here, let me show you what I did on this one, alright? So on this one, I pretty much cut it out. I did the plastic itself. Everything was pretty. I know you're gonna have problems hearing me, but I'm gonna try to scream out as much as I can. On this one, I put a Dell monitor. I took this off. I built this live. Last time I did the live streaming, I did the whole setup on the live streaming. This is the actual Retro Pi system here. It's a Raspberry Pi. So if you guys are not familiar with it, I'm going to show you what's in here. It's in there. If you guys see, I just put pretty much a cover and a plastic on it so it won't damage itself or anything happen. So this Raspberry Pi is powering up this whole unit. The unit system itself plays over 1,000 games. It has this Pac-Man, Street Fighter, you know, all the games. This is the ultimate setup I did the other day. But I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what the Raspberry Pi does. So let me walk over. There we go. So, sorry about that. So right now, what we want to do is... Oh, camera's a little bit off too. Sorry about that. Let me make sure the camera's off so you guys can see my bald head. There we go. Now, on the Raspberry Pi itself, what you guys do, you could create all sorts of things. You could even put Windows 10 on one of those systems. So you could run Windows 10 on this unit itself. And say you want to create a wireless module. You want to create your own Game Boy with pretty much all the Dreamcast games, all the PlayStation games, all the Nintendo 64 games. You could pretty much fit it on one chip. So it takes a micro SD card. This is a 16 gig. I pretty much built this one here from scratch, and I let me show you what I did on this one. Here it is. So I did this on the live build. I put all these games in here. So you want to go take it to a party or something. You connect it, the power, the two USBs, and HDMI.
Godlike player. So do you like code or something?
I do both. I like to code. I like to do both. I'm a Mino Latino nerd, you know. So, and this is a Raspberry Pi. It all fits in this cartridge. So it's pretty much a whole system in here. Now they gave me an option to put this one. This is actually a bigger and bulkier. It actually takes better games than the smaller version. So now that they have this theme to run as the big one,
Godlike player. That's cool, man.
Yeah, so now I'm going to be able to run this one, the power of this one, into this system. Because this one, compared to this one, this is a little shitty poor core it has. This is actually way better than this one, of course. Now, compared to this one, you could play Dreamcast games, some Nintendo 64 games on this one. They run a little crappy sometimes. For example, James Bond takes a lot of RAM, so you're not going to be able to run very good on the James Bond games on this one. But on the new version, you can't either. You know, this one is the same exact as this one, and we're going to compare these two. These two are the same. This is a shitty one, but this one does the basic stuff. You could play Nintendo, Sega, old classic games. Arcade-wise, they're going to run a little shitty. You want to run good games, this is a really good one. Now, they made it smaller, better for me. So this is the A+, new version. It has a micro SD connection, HDMI, audio input jack, one USB, but this USB you could split into 3 or 4, so that's what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to get a splitter. I'm going to get the same splitter as this one right here. If you guys see the splitter, as a USB and a micro SD connected into one module, and it connects all into the micro SD connection in here on the Pi Zero. That's how I built it. This one had to be a unique HDMI connection, so I had to plug it in here, and it's a bulky. I had to shave it down a little bit to fit it. It has 16 gigs of games in here. There's a lot of games I could play on this one. Now, this one I'm gonna put up to 250 gigs of games in here. This is an ultimate stuff. If you guys like all the old games, you're gonna be able to play them on here. Now, the games, I'm not gonna tell you where to get them. If you don't know, you need to figure it out. Now, on this one, like I said, this one is the least is the least of the powerful ones, right? You can't really run too much. Just the basic stuff. Nintendo, Sega, that's about it. Nintendo and Sega, I would say, just stick around to Nintendo. And some of the Donkey Kong games, Miss Pac-Man and stuff like that. Some of the arcades, Centipede, the older arcades, you can run it. It runs it pretty good. Like I just said, this one runs PlayStation 1, Dreamcast, Sega, Amiga, Intellivision. It runs everything. Some of the games, like I said, Crash Bandicoot, some of the 007 might not run 100%, but now this one does the same thing. But like I said, they fit it in a cartridge. I could probably fit this sucker somewhere in here, you know? And it's going to run powerful games, all within the cartridge. Now, this system could be like also self-sufficient, meaning that you could connect a module, a battery module here. A battery module, 2 AA batteries could run this sucker for almost half an hour or an hour. Depends on the usage, all right? That's what it's made for power consumption, this thing, you know? So it's pretty much they're making it for handhelds. You could build your own handheld. You could build your own camera. Right now they have a camera attachment in here that you got accessories. You could add fans into this system. If you know the pin numbers, you could modify certain things. You could add, manipulate, and add extra USBs. You could do all sorts of things on this. You could solder things in here. This is, in fact, this is what they're using in schools right now to teach your children how to use Pi. They're creating robotic class, for example. They use Pis. But now this is the next step. Now, if you guys don't know about Pi, it's not an American company. The Raspberry Pi, it's all Europe. But a lot of the components that they have is completely made in the US. They don't make them here, but they invent them here. For example, some of the old modules, they had the IBM chip. This one has an A53 chip, I believe, A153 I said. There's different components. So what the company does, if you guys ever remember Vizio, the TV company, it's still around. It's a big company. The reason they got big is because when they started building TVs, they bought the components from every single maker. So you bought the TV, you had a Sony display, you had Panasonic chip, you had, you know, different components built the Vizio. This is pretty much like the new Vizio, you would say, you know. But this company itself, they're not into inventing new stuff. They're pretty much into a piggyback of old technology or new technology. But this system is really unique, man. People have come out with some great concept how to do stuff, even hacking mechanisms, you know. Now this could be a skipper that it could be if you put it on a system somewhere and say you want to capture somebody's passwords, it's very simple to hack people with these systems. You can make it wireless because this one has a Bluetooth and wireless system. You can actually capture certain things. But I'm not gonna talk it to the black market or anything like that. That's up to you guys to learn how to use this stuff. Sometimes people take it overboard and they do some crazy stuff with this stuff, but it is up to you what you do with it, you know. Now I'm more into the gaming. I don't do anything of the other stuff, you know, but I'm more into the gaming. That's why I use this to make my systems, you know, pretty much for myself, my personal use. That's what it is. We made this main system, this whole arcade system, under 2 days. I believe it took me 2 days to build, but it's because everything was already pre-installed already. I had an image for this system already. I had the blueprints for the cutouts of the actual build, and then I bought the buttons and I put them together, and that's pretty much, you know, I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just pretty much got whatever was out there, you know. So the difference between this one and this one are very different, you know. This is a smaller version, the Zero. This is not the W. The W, actually, I think it is the W. Hold on. Oh yeah, this is the newest Zero, the W. And what it is the older version didn't have wireless. This one does have wireless. The wireless chip is right here. Oh man, choking up in here to talking too much. So you guys have any questions on any? How do you guys like my new setup in here? Anyways, we're gonna talk a little bit more about this stuff, and if you guys like stuff like this, let me know. I'm always doing all sorts of things like this, you know. Especially when I built this Nintendo cartridge, I 3D printed this thing here in the bottom. You guys see this part? So not on this device, actually. I didn't build it on that one. So I built it on a different one, at a different scale. So, but it's working. It's done the job. I pasted it together and pretty much just cover it. It's a Magic Johnson old Nintendo cartridge that I bought for $5. Fit it in there, and it's ready to go. All you got to do is lock it in. I can't lock it in now. Oh, there it is. Back, lock it in. But I can't wait to use this and start using it. See what I'm going to do with this stuff. Now, on the module itself, let me talk a little bit about it. Let me get the details because I don't know it by memory. I just got it today, to be honest with you. First time using this sucker. It's not like I'm going to be using it all the time, you know. So, now, on the module itself, let me talk about it. They improved the USB storage booting. I'm not quite sure what they mean about that because I didn't see any device, unless they improved the transfer rate on the system, because in reality, you can't even tell these systems. These systems are not made for speed mostly. When you buy something like this small, it's going to generate a lot of heat. Now, improvement on the thermal management, that I don't understand what they mean, but it means they probably added more glue in here, more of the thermal paste, better insulation for the heat, because this chip gets pretty hot right here. That's why I actually end up putting a radiator, just like this one on this one, so it could disperse some of the heat. Now, you could add a fan on the outside and stick it out and burn it out, but you know, I bought two of them actually. I put this one in there and this one. Now this one's gonna need its own, so I'm gonna put one in here just to make sure it isolates the heat somewhere. It won't heat up too much, you know. So that's pretty much it, man. If you guys have any questions or any comments, let me know. Hit me up, man. And thank you guys for joining me and coming in right now on a late notice. But I am gonna come back and play COD 4 right now. You know, I've been playing Battlefield today. Just got off. Was playing a little bit. I'm trying to clean up in here. I have Thanksgiving people coming over, so I'm gonna make sure I could get this clean. I'm printing out a Mario coin right now, is what it is. I'm trying to get it to print good, but I'm having issues with the PLA right now, so I'm gonna have to readjust this whole printer and redo something. But other than that, if you have any questions or any comments, let me know. Hit me up. I'll be back around 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and play some PUBG, get my shades on and get my bandana and go back to back with Stagger and other people. So if you guys come back, let me know. I'm your host, Prophet74, and we're gonna be out.